There are moments in our lives when we are faced with choices not only about what to give, but also about what to accept. We often focus on generosity, love, and openness, but equally important is recognizing the boundaries we must set for ourselves. To maintain our dignity, peace, and integrity, there are certain things we should never accept from others, no matter who they are. These things, though intangible, can shape our self-worth and, over time, influence the course of our lives. Let me share with you an ancient story. There once was a wise merchant who owned a small shop in a bustling village. He was known for his fairness and kindness. One day, a wealthy customer came into his shop and rudely demanded a discount, threatening to badmouth the merchant's name if he didn't comply. The merchant looked at the wealthy man and smiled gently. "You may speak ill of me," the merchant said calmly, "but I will never trade my dignity for your approval." The customer was taken aback. "But what will people think of you?" "I am not for sale," the merchant replied. "My worth is determined by my actions, not by what others say about me." The wealthy man left in anger, but over time people admired the merchant for his principles, and his shop became the most respected in the village. This story reminds us that our true value lies in standing firm in our principles, no matter the temptations or threats we face. Let me share with you 6 things, accompanied by practical ways to avoid letting them affect us. 1. Disrespect. Disrespect can appear in many forms, whether it's dismissiveness, unkind words, or actions that undermine who you are. At its core, disrespect strips away a person's self-worth and the inherent dignity we all carry as human beings. Never accept being treated with less respect than you deserve. This is not about pride. It's about recognizing your own value. When faced with disrespect, address it calmly but firmly. Instead of reacting emotionally, state clearly what behavior is unacceptable to you. For instance, say, "I feel disrespected when you speak to me in that tone. I'd appreciate a more respectful dialogue." If it continues, create distance from such influences. 2. Constant negativity. Negative people can cloud your thoughts and impact your mood, leaving you drained and filled with doubt. Never allow someone's constant negativity to become your lens of the world. Negativity, unchecked, has the power to shatter dreams and crush optimism. Surround yourself with uplifting people, but also build an internal resilience. When faced with negative energy, practice gratitude. For every negative comment you hear, counter it with 3 things you are thankful for. This shifts your mind toward positivity, even when surrounded by pessimism. 3. Manipulation. Manipulation takes away your freedom and twists your perceptions. It is a subtle yet destructive force that turns your actions, thoughts, and feelings into something controlled by someone else. Never accept manipulation, no matter how cleverly disguised it might be. Learn to recognize the signs of manipulation: guilt trips, emotional blackmail, or twisting facts to benefit someone else. Once identified, make your stance clear and unshakable. Firmly state your boundaries and remain consistent with them. Practice saying no when it feels right without feeling the need to justify yourself. 4. False promises. Broken promises not only erode trust, but can also diminish your sense of hope and expectation. Repeatedly accepting false promises from others sets the stage for disappointment and disillusionment. Expect honesty, not perfection, and never settle for anything less. When promises are broken repeatedly, have a candid conversation about it. Ask for clarity. "I've noticed several promises haven't been kept. Can we discuss why this is happening?" If false promises continue, reevaluate the relationship and decide if it serves your well-being. 5. Judgment, based on past mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes, but to be continuously judged based on your past, without acknowledgement of your growth, is unfair and detrimental to your development. Never accept being defined solely by your mistakes, for they are only one chapter of your story, not the whole book. If someone continues to judge you based on your past, remind them and yourself of your evolution. Say, I acknowledge my past, but I've learned and grown since then. I'd appreciate it if you saw me for who I am today, not who I was. Always give yourself the grace to move forward. 6. Toxic expectations. People often project their fears, desires, or unfulfilled dreams onto others. When someone places toxic expectations on you, it can lead to guilt, frustration, and a life that is not truly your own. Never accept a path that doesn't align with your truth, simply because it meets someone else's expectations. Regularly check in with yourself. Are you living according to your values, or are you following a script someone else wrote for you? Practice mindfulness and journaling to gain clarity on your personal desires. Learn to say, this may be your expectation of me, but I need to follow my own path. In life, we often hear about the importance of giving, but knowing what not to accept is equally vital. Disrespect, negativity, manipulation, false promises, judgment from past mistakes, and toxic expectations are burdens we should refuse to carry. Instead, by setting boundaries and practicing self-awareness, we protect our peace, our integrity, and our happiness. As you walk your path, remember, the most empowering word you can say sometimes is no. By rejecting what doesn't serve you, you make space for what truly enriches your life.